Hey guys, so in this video I want to share with you what it costs to have a small farm like ours. So on our place we have milk, eggs, meat, fruits and nuts, and veggies all grown on our 1 acre. But a lot of people wonder, how much does that cost? Is it affordable? Does it all work out? How does it work out? And today I'm going to tell you how we all come out at the end of the year, and if we come out on top or if we are paying way too much for this little farm. Alright, let's get started. Okay, starting with our little goats here. Now we get 100% of our milk from our goats, and we have a combo of some small ones like this, and then we've got one big Nubian over there hanging out. But what we figured out with these goats is that it really costs us about $1 a gallon as far as feed to yield ratio. Now that doesn't include selling any of the baby goats that come along or stuff like that, but that's just strictly how much we feed them versus how much we get from them. Alright, let's talk eggs. Now these chickens aren't going to let me get too close to them because they're free range and they do whatever they want to do. But our chickens give us plenty of eggs, and per dozen of eggs is pretty reasonable. It actually comes out to about $1 a dozen. So that's for organic, non-GMO, no corn or no soy, free-range eggs. So really we're coming out to really good price as far as eggs go. Now we're not in love with any one specific breed. We have just a whole group of different chickens here on our property, and we just kind of appreciate all different types here. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about are fruit and nut trees. I really think one of the best things that you can invest in on your farm are fruit and nut trees. They are a big investment in the beginning, I know, but they keep paying it forward, and that return on investment is huge over the years. So one thing I would highly recommend though is to go ahead and start with trees that you know are kind of native to your area, or ones that you know are going to grow well. That way you can get kind of a head start with them, and as a beginner you'll be able to make sure and grow stuff and not just kill a bunch of stuff. So when it comes to fruit and nut trees, we've gotten really excited about that and went crazy this year. In fact, I think we have over 30 now on the property, and I could get easily 100 more just because I can see the potential yield is so great. As far as having to even work or care for them or put labor into them, it's awesome. So that's a big thing that we're getting into now, and we wish we would have done that 8 years ago when we first got started. Now when it comes to gardening, I would say that's probably the one that's going to be the toughest to learn how to overcome. I'm sitting out here, it's really hot, it's the middle of the summer, and we've kind of learned how to grow food here in Arizona. It's been a big learning curve though, and I would say it's probably the same no matter where you live, because really it takes serious skills in order to learn how to grow veggies and fruits and vine fruits and squashes and peas and green beans and tomatoes and corn and everything. It takes a lot of work and a lot of know-how to learn how to do that, but I would say it's probably one of the best investments as well, just investing in the learning experience of it. So chalk up all those costs to a great learning experience. If you're really nervous about the costs, I would say keep it low by just growing the basics. You don't have to grow everything. You don't have to grow eggplant and all these crazy things that don't grow well in your area. You can grow a great supply of onions and garlic and potatoes. You can grow green beans and carrots, and just stick with the staples in the beginning, because that's where you're going to learn as well, and then that's where you're going to have a high yield. So I would say in a veggie garden you're going to have a lot of costs when it comes to water, and I wouldn't say seeds are a lot of money, but I would just say that, you know, a lot of effort you can put in towards a plant and then it end up dying. Sometimes you really lose out on those when that happens. Now every year we raise 2 lambs on our acre here, and they provide us with about 150 pounds of meat together. So by the end of the year, when it's time to butcher, we're going to butcher these 2 guys, and then we're going to have meat in our freezer, about 150 pounds, And it's gonna come out to about $1 a pound to raise grass-fed lamb. So that's a very good cost in terms of yield or like the cost of an organic grass-fed meat. So I highly recommend raising lambs if you're interested in raising your own grass-fed meat. Another option would be rabbits. Rabbits are a great source of, lean meat, but they also are pretty cheap. I think it comes out to about $1 or $2 a pound. We haven't really done rabbits here yet in our property because we live in Arizona and it's really hot and we have a difficult time keeping them alive all year and having a good system going with them. But so far, these lambs, it's really worked well for us to do this every year. Now, about every other year, we raise our own chickens here for meat as well. And that is probably the most laborious job to have here on our property. And so we've kind of calculated it out to cost us about $9 per chicken, per whole chicken. And that's for us feeding them 100% organic, no soy, no corn, non-GMO feed, which we feel is healthier. Let's go over the total cost of the year. We on average spend about $2,000 on the maintenance of our farm, and that's for feed costs and for water and for just all the general taking care of animals things. That does not include fencing or infrastructure. So with that $2,000, we usually sell though about $1,000 to $1,500 in animal sales or in egg or milk sales. So when it comes to animal sales, what I'm talking about is selling the goats babies. So when the goats have babies every year, usually we sell to people that are wanting to get started with goats, and you'd be surprised how many people are in the market for a new goat. So we'll sell to a new family that's starting off, or we'll sell to a kid that's trying to show a goat in maybe the FFA, or we'll sell our animals for people that want to raise their goats as pets, or even for people that want to raise goats for meat. So in the end, we usually have only spent about $500 or $600 on everything for the entire year. That's about $40, $50 a month. So either way, we usually are able to sell those animals each year and offset a lot of our farming costs. And that's with us having our own milk, eggs, most of our own meat, fruits and nuts and veggies. So you can see we really come out on top. Now, there are some years where everything's gonna go crappy and you're gonna have things go wrong and you're gonna have animals die and you're gonna have things not harvest as well as you thought that they would. But for the most part, I would say that we usually come out on top. All right, you guys, hopefully this helps you as you're starting to plan and see if it's possible for you to grow your own food and if it really is efficient and cost effective. I think it is. All right, good luck.